This is a 100 billion Bank of PNG check. While time is tough and tight on the economy, we're making this intervention not to be wasted. We know the money that comes out of this will go back into reinjection in the business men and women out there, and they in turn will employ Papua New Guineans and contribute back to the economy. So it's a vicious cycle of economic empowerment that we hope this can be the impetus to start a genesis of wealth creation in our country. Thank you very much, BSP.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister.
Even before COVID-19 was upon us, when our government took office, I made some statement of the highest order for our country. People accuse me of being a dreamer. Let me tell you one thing. Leadership sets the vision and dream and pathway for our country. It is for practitioners and those who operate the system to get it happening and getting it moved in the right direction. I set the vision. What's wrong for Papua New Guinea becoming the richest Christian nation on the face of planet Earth? We can. And we just, over the last 10, 15, 20 years, been depending on the boom and bust cycle of oil and gas, influenced by commodity price externally that we have no input over. We've just been dependent on program mine and Lear mine that hardly pays any corporate tax. And so it's about time Papua New Guineans step back, take a look, and appreciate other blessings that God has blessed us with and embark upon business opportunities. When I took office, few of my general consultations with the rest of PNG has always been about don't look for job, create job yourself. Create job yourself. Think big, and if you are talking big, get your hands dirty. Do the hard yards. Collect the small kinas at a time. The kinas will add up into being 100 kina, into 1,000 kinas, and eventually you will hit your first million kina. We do not know how to manage small money. Don't dream about big money because you'll never manage big money.
Amen.
And sometimes leaders have to talk straight from the front like this and get every Papua New Guinean out there. Statistics compel us to think this. It wasn't COVID-19 that forced us into making this intervention. COVID-19 arrived in December 2019. Our statement on making intervention with SME arrived day one when we took office. We made it known right from day one that we will have a hand in influencing Papua New Guineans to go into the space of doing business. For micro business, small business, medium businesses, large businesses, giant businesses, any business of any type. Most of you smart thinking Papua New Guineans operating Facebook accounts and WhatsApp groups, you already PhDs, you already master's degrees, you already degrees. Even if you don't have degree, you're thinking smart, talking smart. Today, instead of government distributing money from Wulubindi House, like we've distributed in past retrospectively, for instance, one allocation 10 years ago, 230 million kina, siphoned off to pay the farmers right throughout our country, no result bearing fruit because politicians were distributing money to cronies. We decided to make the shift away from politicians to those who know business most. Lending has been part of the business. And today I am pleased that a very important institution in the country, BSP, stepped up. When we made the offer, it was a general offer to our 5 operating commercial banks in our country, including NDB, to step out and partner us. I place on record my appreciation that Kina Bank stepped out, NDB stepped out, and BSP stepped out to partner us in this innovation that government will put credit guarantee as a layer of credit facilities with the banks, and for the banks to unload liquidities they have in their banks to ensure SMEs are given funded, or micro, small, medium enterprises are given credit funding. Today, I'm happy in our deliberations, and I apologize if it has taken a long time. But mind you, my government has been in place 16 months, and we've been waiting 45 years for this sort of moment to take place. And so if you talk about long time, What is 16 months compared to 45 years of waiting and political squandering that takes place in this sort of program at central government level? Today, this is not Prime Minister Marape or Minister Duma distributing money to our wantoks. We want to stay clear from this sort of activities of funds and allow banks to do the distribution based on business proposals that will stand on its own merits and its own business viabilities. So the BSP has stepped out, and let me announce our program here is 5% interest rate for a 15-year period that BSP has indicated to partner us, and let me step back and thank you. This is not the first time BSP has stepped in, and Papua New Guinea must appreciate we have a major financial institution, our local produce bank, operating and stands in time out again to partner in programs that is beneficial to our country, and in this instance beneficial to our women and men who want to participate in the space of business. I remember in the past government that I took over from under former Prime Minister O'Neill, there was a policy program announced on housing loans. And so the rate was announced 4% for a 40-year period. But under the former Prime Minister's leadership, he didn't put money where his mouth was, just like many other unfulfilled commitments that my government is trying to do. But BSP, as a good corporate citizen, picked this program, and Mr. Fleming is here, he will confirm and attest to this one. Pick this program up, and today BSP is running one of the best lending you can find anywhere else on planet Earth. 4%, and if I'm not wrong, 40 years?
Correct, yes.
4%, and I am the #1 salesman now, and without no element of bias. Because this is a product that is unmatched globally. And my government today is speaking on the launch of this SME program. So I'd like to announce to our citizens, I did make this commitment when I visited Lihir, and one young Papua New Guinean who was standing in the crowd shouted out to me, Mr. Prime Minister, we excited you are a new Prime Minister in office. You are pro-Papua New Guinea, you're thinking for Papua New Guinea. Can you drop our tax? Personal income tax, because workers, you pay a lot of tax to keep our country running. And I knew it would be irresponsible of me if I promised to him that I would drop tax, because it wasn't going to happen for the next few years anyway. We needed money to keep our budget financed. But I respond to him in this manner. I will not drop your tax right now. If our economy improves in the next 5, 6, 10 years, possibly the dropping taxes there. But in the meantime, I will try to assist you find land for you to embark on a housing program that BSP is running today. Or for you to pick up loan to go into SME during your holiday times, on and off times. These are ways in which we could remunerate or compensate Papua New Guineans who are contributing to the economy, and especially those who are in employment, through your personal income taxes. Because IRC tells me personal income tax is the higher of the 3 types of general tax we collect: company tax and GST, unfairly to the workers. So I committed to finding land for those of you who are in employment, and as we free up state lands, and instead of giving it to one company to sell again at 300,000, 400,000 to in a sublease arrangement, we're trying to find land to ensure every Papua New Guinean who want to have a go at a title, they go to BSP, they could go into that program. That housing program is one classical example of how BSP has stepped in. Government committed, government didn't put the funding down, but I felt it's a good program for citizens. They're already in that business, in that space. And today I asked Papua New Guineans who are out there talking. Once you see the lands minister designating land available for access to titles, and we will try to clear the path for Papua New Guineans to employ for first-time home loan program. Please have a conversation with BSP, and I ask all employers and all managers or leading managers in different organizations to try to have conversations with BSP to allow employees and super funds who will be asked to work in that space also for the first-time home financing program. This is one program that BSP has embarked upon, and we've always been working since June 2019 for this moment to arrive. And I apologize for the delay, but it's finally arrived. 100 million kina will be held in trust as an added layer of security for Papua New Guineans who will go and borrow at 5% for 15 years. Now I've asked BSP and Commerce and Industry to target with especially two target groups. One are startups, and I think BSP has facility for startups at the lowest rate, or startup in business. And another facility will be for refinancing those existing businesses who currently you have a higher rate of repayment, you're struggling, you're suffocating, and COVID has exposed those businesses who are currently needing interventions. And so today, every Papua New Guinean out there who are in business, you have opportunity to partner BSP again. While I don't want to impress on you to migrate your accounts to BSP, but if I was a businessman out there, I'm not good at doing business, but I'm just stating the case. It's an opportunity for you to look at refinancing your loan portfolio with BSP at a 5% 15-year repayment program. For startups also, BSP has a facility for startups at the lowest rating. I'll talk about startup. Papua New Guineans may ask me, what has our government done in as far as startup is concerned? We've already distributed 1.5 million kina each to all districts right across our country to assist. That's the reason why Member for Mosby Northeast is able to mobilize 20,000 mothers in Port Moresby Northeast electorate in its lowest level. So they are being organized, they're organizing NID for themselves, they're organizing bank account for themselves, and they're being mobilized to come in, migrate from the informal space into the formal mainstream business environment. And so for any one of you out there, if you're already not in a formal structure, but you in some commercial transaction, at the lowest level up to the bigger level, you are a form of business in our country. Our government envisages a country that is robust in citizens doing business and not waiting for handout from government or handout from politicians. So and I know Samson Komati and others were here when I addressed the think tank forum in NCC or ICC. I said, I'm not here to give you a job. I want you and me to partner for you to create job yourself. And SME and business is the space to create jobs. Create jobs, and there's every opportunity for us to go. This partnership with BSP will be a 10-year program. And I put any government who will come into the future to be people-centered, people-oriented, people-focused. Empowering people at where they are is number one responsibility of any government into the future. And this is one catalyst to create more jobs. In the SME space, from my, beg your pardon, in the SME space, this is where the bulk of our people are already engaged in. And just like Mosby Notice is now tapping into mothers to go into the business space, I encourage every Papuan Indians to make use of this opportunity. 100 million this year, 100 million next year, 100 million 2022, 100 million 2023. For the next 10 years, we are creating a facility of 1 billion kina with BSP to be affected every year in budget. And BSP with government and treasury working with central bank in other monetary and fiscal policy levers that has been already created. BSP also, in partnership with central bank, will affect flexibility. They have sufficient liquidity in their own banking system, and BSP is now encouraged. Even if 100 million kina security is given, they'll be working and doing the absolute best to try to front load or download possibly 200 million, 300 million to lend when our economy needs intervention and injection of capital into business right away. So that partnership is a very good partnership, and let me step back, and if the rest of you in the room can join me in thanking BSP for it. As I said in conclusion, this is not free money. We will continue to tweak and ensure this policy is user-friendly to any Papuan Indians who want to get their hand dirty and make it work. When I went to Goroka, by-election in the campaign rounds in Goroka, I advocated against free handout mentality. I advocated against just random free education concepts. I advocated against politicians dishing out money. I said citizens must get your hands dirty in working. And I committed to 6 kina a kg coffee. Our government has now put in price subsidy already. We put in freight subsidy already. For Papua New Guineans who want to work and get out from just sitting in the coffee shops in Port Moresby, thinking smart, talking smart, getting your hand dirty, we have created facilities to empower Papua New Guineans right where our country to get into the space of business. Work with commerce and industry, work with Small Business Development Corporation, or what is now the SME Corporation, if I'm not wrong, which Mr. Mel again is a dual chairman of that organization. Keep a lookout for those announcements. Work and get your hands dirty, BSP, and very soon we will also announce partnership with National Development Bank. These are two banks we are looking now, and I've had word with Kina Bank, and Kina Bank has also given us indication, even without government guarantee packed with them, Kina Bank has given indication they're willing also to go into that space for SME, because it's just benefits all partners all around, benefits the economy, benefits the individual person participating in business or the group participating in business, benefits the bank, benefits the government. So it pays to make investment in the business space. And that partnership we're having with BSP will not just stop with BSP. NDB will be the next bank we will call up. And I think a check of 80 million kina is to be prepared to present to NDB. And we will also work with Kina Bank. Kina Bank has said they're willing to partner with or without government security assistance in a product that they're tailoring to suit their customer base. So this is something that is satisfactory to me, and I encourage all our citizens. Don't wait for free handout. The last time manna fall from the sky was 5,000 years ago when children Israel. Today, manna does not fall down from the sky. Don't believe in cargo cart.
Yes.
You work hard.
Yes.
Last week I went and visited a funeral service of one pioneer Papua New businessman from the Western Highlands. He passed on. No politician made him to be a businessman. No gold or oil or gas royalty made him to be a businessman. Started off in the 70s as a small junior trucker. It doesn't happen overnight. Get your hands dirty. Government and partner institutions will create the environment and credit finance for you to have access to. And I'm just happy that this moment is arrived. Thank you, BSP. And I look forward to creating an army of Papua New entrepreneurs. Government on the whole scale are working with our bilateral partners to ensure our agricultural produces are bought, to ensure we go into downstream industries, in forestry, in fisheries. These are all in our vision to ensure spin-off business and business opportunities is given to Papua New Guineans. We haven't created the base for more employment in the interventions in the SME space. Employment and citizen engagement and empowerment is very real, and this is not a one-off event, but this will be part of government's program for the next 10 years. And I want more Papua New Guineans to, instead of waiting for a job to happen, create a job yourself. Out of university, going to SME. Out of high schools, going to SME. There'll be an announcement on those who are in high school to know about businesses. And those of you presently out there in hard times like this, go into the space of SME. Thank you very much, BSP. Thank you very much, Commerce and Industry. And just to give some added conversation, part of that 50% of this allocation we will be gearing towards assisting mothers in business. So mothers, especially mothers, 50% for mothers' business will be given by the female, not just mothers but female. So we have a balance 50-50 on female, encouraging no mothers to go into business, just like Member for Notice has been doing. And 10% of this allocation we work with partner banks for lending to take place in Bougainville businesses, help Bougainvilleans get their business resuscitated in the space.